Hi, everybody. Please welcome AP World History teacher and girls lacrosse coach at Fleming Highland High School in Florida, and Coach Clint Lyons. For those who don't know, I write about it in the book. Florida became the first state to mandate the usage of girls lacrosse headgear at the high school level. So, hey, Coach, how you doing? Thanks for coming on with me and doing this. Thanks also for coaching, being a teacher. Two important jobs. So I think I start with a lot of people, involved in girls lacrosse. For you, how'd you get into girls lacrosse, coaching at the high school level? Why you love it so much?
Well, I came to it in 2012. Well, the girls program really didn't have a coach, and they were kind of floundering. And I was able to kind of learn from a guy because I didn't grow up in Florida when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. Lacrosse wasn't all that popular here, and so learning from him and just learning, especially some of the basics. It took me a couple years, but I grew up playing a whole bunch of different sports and saw a lot of similarities in certain aspects of it. And so once I kind of got into it for a few years, I really took off and enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I always say I'm not really lacrosse, but I played everything else. My girls play everything else, and the spacing and the teamwork is great.
Yeah.
So I haven't said that. I know you spend a lot of time with your team, and what's that relationship like? What's that being around the girls and the energy? What do you love
No,
about
it's
it?
good. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why you coach. When you look back on seasons and stuff, you remember stuff that really doesn't necessarily have to do with the games all the time and just the interactions and things the girls remember. Sometimes you'll see a player from 3 or 4 years prior and they remember something totally, had nothing to do with the game or anything.
Yeah, that's special. I have that too. Just I never coached at the high school level, but just coaching my girls it's fun when I see the girls grow up and see them around.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about obviously the headgear is the topic and, and just in general, safety. How often is safety, talked about, in your conversations, athletic directors, coaches,
Well, at least in our realm here down in North Florida, I mean, we have an athletic director meeting at our high school with the athletic director for all sports right off the way, and that's half the meeting is about safety and the courses that we got to take as coaches, the courses the girls and boys, whatever sport it is, they got to watch a concussion. Of course, down here in Florida, they also got to look at a heat video. We actually, as coaches, have to look at a sudden cardiac arrest video. So between all that, concussions, heat, cardiac arrest, I mean, safety is a big priority at our school and just in the state of Florida in general.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's specifically, talking about the headgear with the mandate in Florida, which is now it's been 3 seasons in. But, before that, what were some of the arguments? Can you talk about some of the conversations that were had around,
I guess just, the simple fact that it had never been done before. And also, I guess the big argument was, some sports were going to have, girls lacrosse would have it. Then why wouldn't, like girls soccer have to wear it? I guess that was kind of some of the big arguments.
Yeah, so we hear that. I just always say that, clearly the equipment sticks and the rock hard ball above the head. And then you look at goalies who wear the hard helmets. In other sports, it's not like there's one girl that wears a big hard helmet and the rest don't. So
Yeah.
another argument we hear about is that gladiator effect. I write a lot about that in the book. Another argument that we hear about, you put headgear on these girls and it's going to get rougher and yeah, just from your experience in Florida, seeing it, what have you seen the transition being like?
I wouldn't say it's gotten any rougher. I mean, it's just, the girls, like I've mentioned before, you see girls who are inexperienced. It's not that they're doing it, oh, you got a helmet, so now I can get more aggressive at. They're just inexperienced and they don't know when to check. Is where you see a very experienced player, they know when a girl's dropping her stick a little bit and they know the exact moment when to do it, as opposed to new girls. And keep in mind, like my high school, we got girls who play a lot. Well, we have I'd say 50% of our team every year is girls with 1 to 2 years experience. And so sometimes when they're checking, they're near the head and it's not that they mean to do it, but they don't know when to do it. And so, but I wouldn't say that people are going out of their way to be more aggressive just because there's a helmet on.
Right. Yeah. Even in that argument, we always hear about officiating needs to get better, and You know, we always say that, you know, it's just such a clear positive change, and that accidents happen. That, you know, it's not, you know, it's really not the checking that leads to a lot of these injuries. It's just a single accidental ball and stick to the head. So just, you know, so
Yeah.
you're feeling, you know, is it, it's a positive. Took some time to, you know, transition, I'm sure, a little bit for the girls to get used to wearing, but once they did, you know, the game looks the same. Is kind of your opinion of it?
Yeah. Game looks the same. And I think, yeah, and everybody's kind of used to it by now. I think it looks pretty much the same.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
So, I mean, like I
that's
said,
what you say?
and the biggest thing too is probably, like you said, the ball more than the stick.
Yep.
And when you start getting girls shooting space, it's probably the ball that's more dangerous than I would say the stick half the time, you know, just because the
Yeah.
ball's moving around a lot more than the sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a hard ball. Shots
So,
are being thrown harder, faster. I've seen it even in the 6 years I've been involved. I've seen, you know, the speed go up and level of play, you know, different games.
yeah.
So again, coach, I really appreciate your time and, you know, your support, and I really appreciate you doing this for the book, and, you know, look out for it. It's coming soon. And, well, you know, we'll definitely talk to you soon.
All right. Appreciate it, Rob. Thank
All
you.
right. Be well. Take care. Thanks, coach. Appreciate it.